Pittsburgh Penguins enter Philadelphia in trouble. And it seems like they could be on the verge of having their playoff run for Lord Stanley in huge trouble going into Saturday night. Game 3. Penguins, Flyers, Keystone State rivalry continues on Penguins postseason postgame right now. Let's talk Pens and Flyers from Philadelphia. Game 3 starts now.
Welcome to Sports for Beginners. This is the show where I cover the Pittsburgh Penguins, Toronto Blue Jays, and take you on a journey through the world of sports from the fans' perspective. Here is your host, Scott McGregor. Let's have some fun.
Hello everybody, welcome to Penguins postseason postgame, and I've got to tell you Penguins fans, as we welcome you in, the Battle of PA so far has been controlled by the east side of Pennsylvania as the series goes from PPG Paints Arena to Xfinity Mobile Arena. In case you aren't aware, final scores of this series so far: Philadelphia defeated Pittsburgh on Monday night in Pittsburgh by a final score of 3-0. That was April 20th, 2026. And in the opening game of this season series, the Philadelphia Flyers defeated the Pittsburgh Penguins 3-2 back on April 18th on Saturday. And now they look for some huge momentum swings as the series shifts to Game 4 Saturday night in Philadelphia in the city of brotherly love. But for the Flyers, it's an opportunity to clean sweep the Pittsburgh Penguins. I'm your lovely host, Scott McGregor, and again, this is Penguins postseason postgame on the ice and behind the benches, and of course, Sports for Beginners, the podcast. Records at the end of 2025-2026 regular season: Philadelphia 43-27-12, Pittsburgh 41-25-16 to end their 2025-2026 regular season. The regular season series between the two squads ended in a tie at 2-2, but the playoff series right now is in a commanding lead for Philadelphia with 3 victories, including both a shutout victory and a 1-goal victory in Pittsburgh Saturday and Monday night. Now we shift to Saturday night in Philadelphia, where the Pittsburgh Penguins, after this game, look for a chance to go into a Game 5 in Pittsburgh down by 2 games. But to do that, they gotta win Saturday. I gotta be honest with you, Penguins fans. I'm scared going into that Game 4 game between the Pens and the Flyers on Saturday. I'm telling you right now, I'm scared. Alright, anyways, for time constraints, we are going to go into our game recap in just a little bit. But just before we go to our first commercial break of the program, we are going to touch on our officiating crew. The standby referee and linesman to start us up were Tommy Hughes, and Kendrick Nicholson. The referees and linesmen were Jake B. and Francois St. Laurent, wearing numbers 26 and number 8. Kendrick Nicholson wearing the number 30. Tommy Hughes wearing the number 65. Linesmen wearing the numbers 68 and 95. CJ Murray and Johnny Murray. And those are the officiators. Penalties have been the topic so far this series, and it continued on in Game 3 in Philadelphia. Here we go, folks, with our goals summary before we go to our first break of the program. We'll break down the penalties in the second portion of the program. But here we go with our goals by period. In the first period of play, Malkamania was running wild in Philly as the Pittsburgh Penguins scored the first power play goal for them for this series, and of course, to give them their first lead of the series as Gino Machino strikes again his second goal of the playoffs, coming in at 4 minutes and 18 seconds on the power play after a penalty taken by Sean Couturier for tripping at 3 minutes and 21 seconds. Later in the period, there was 2 penalties, one to Pittsburgh and one to Philadelphia. Garnett Hathaway, 2 minutes for high sticking. However, Sidney Crosby, at the 18-minute 47-second mark of the first period of play, received a 2-minute minor for embellishment. The Philadelphia Flyers would score in the second period on the power play. Trevor Zegras, able to get Philadelphia on the board on the power play with his first goal of the playoffs. On the assist, number 94, Porter Martone, and number 9, Jamie Drysdale, his first assist of the playoffs as well. So after 20 minutes of play, it was 1-0 Penguins in Philly. But after an entertaining second period of play, which we'll get into the penalty side of that later when we go to our first break, it was 3-1 Philadelphia after 40. The goals in the period came off the stick of Trevor Zegras, Rasmus Ristolainen, and Nick Seeler. Rasmus Ristolainen and Nick Seeler each at even strength, both first goals of the playoffs. Ristolainen at 9:06 in the second period, Nick Seeler at 11 minutes 18 seconds to give Philadelphia a 3-1 advantage and a 3 goals in 6 minutes slate of games for Philadelphia. Noah Jolson, I'm going to go with Noah J, able to pick up his first and second assists of the playoffs and of the game. Sean Couturier also picked up 2 assists in this game, his second and third assist of the playoff series, and first and second assists of the game coming in at 9 minutes 6 seconds for the Rasmus Ristolainen goal, and then the Nick Seeler goal a little bit later at 11 minutes 18 seconds. We'll jump on the penalties in the third and second period a little bit later, but before we head to break, in the third period, Penguins strike again on the power play. This time it's Erik Karlsson for his first goal of the playoffs. Rickard Rakell and Tommy Novak on the assist. Their second assists of the playoffs. Brian Rust and Sidney Crosby also on the Malkin goal earlier in the first period, with their first assists of the season, of the postseason, I should say, of the playoffs. And there were some milestones with Gino and Crosby eclipsed there. But we'll talk about that later, or on another episode. Maybe before we talk about the Game 4 game. We shall see. Anyways, back to the goals. Jamie Drysdale, 1 goal, 1 assist, I should say, already in the playoffs. Add a second, with his second assist of the playoffs coming on a Noah Cates power play goal for the Black and Orange. The second PPG for PHI of the series and of the game, as both teams score twice on the power play after, for most of this series, the first 2 games exact, no power play goals were scored. Cates with his first playoff goal of the year. Trevor Zegras and Jamie Drysdale. Second assist also of the game for Trevor Zegras and Jamie Drysdale also. Drysdale has now 2 assists on the game. Zegras already had 1 assist in the playoffs, and he gets 1 assist here in this game for his second of the playoffs. Noah Cates also picked up his first assist of the playoffs at the 18-minute 48-second mark of the period, as Owen Tippett put the goal to seal the game. The Owen Tippett empty net goal, his first goal of the playoffs, sealed the deal as the Flyers take a 3-0 lead in the season series, one game away from the second round of the Stanley Cup playoffs, as they take it 5-2 in Philadelphia for Philadelphia's first playoff win in 8 years. First of all, congratulations to the Flyers on winning their first playoff game at home in 8 years. But also, Penguins fans, we really got to win that game on Saturday to make sure this isn't a cakewalk for Philadelphia. Now, I got to tell you, throughout the opening portions of Game 3, and I'll give credit to my father as well, who's also a Philadelphia fan, the Penguins came out firing in that first period of play. But we're going to get to those penalties in period 2 and period number 3, as there was a lot to talk about in just 4 minutes and 33 seconds. And of course, both teams strike on the power play twice, but a lot of penalty minutes, mainly in the second period, at 4 minutes, 33 seconds, took part. And we'll talk about that before we jump into the stats portion of the program. 3 stars and, time permitting, a look around the Stanley Cup playoffs to see what else is going on, mainly around the day of our game, Wednesday, April 22nd, 2026. This is Game 3 of Penguins versus Flyers on Penguins Postseason Postgame, and it will be right back right after this. Stick with us. Still the 3 stars, shake of the game, play of the game, what's going on around the NHL, and still the remaining penalties are still to come, and they come your way next.
Have you ever wondered about the books we've been reading throughout the week?
Are you looking for friendly banter and technology tips at the same time?
Then you've come to the right place.
Check out the Ali and McCara Show. It airs live on Sunday afternoons at 3:30 p.m. Eastern.
Until spring. In the spring, we'll switch back to Mondays.
To learn more about the show, please visit thealiandmccarashow.ca.
While you're there, subscribe to the newsletter so you never miss an update. And besides, it's free.
Enter your email address and hit subscribe.
The Ali and McCara Show is part of the Musa Slobodian Network, where good conversations happen.
To learn more about the network, please visit themusaslobodiannetwork.ca.
Enter your email and hit subscribe so you never miss network updates.
CNT Radio will never give you up. They will never let you down, nor will they run around or desert you. So join Nick Astley for The Melting Pot every Saturday on CNT Radio. Hang on a minute. He's not Nick Astley. Oh, jings, I've done it wrong. Anyway, just join Nick for The Melting Pot on CNT Radio.
Hey Ali, did you know we have a books panel?
I did not know that. When is it?
It takes place on the last Friday of each month at 7:30 p.m. Eastern.
Where we have fun and engaging conversations.
About a book that one of the panelists picks.
So, how can I learn more about the show?
To learn more, please visit bookspanel.ca. While you're there, subscribe to the newsletter so you never miss an update. Besides, it's free. Enter your email and hit subscribe.
The Books Pen is part of the Musa Slobodian Network, where good conversations happen.
To learn more about the network, please visit themusaslobodiannetwork.ca. While you're over there, hit subscribe so you never miss a network update. Enter your email and hit subscribe.
Welcome back to Penguins postseason postgame. Great to be with you. I'm your host, Scott McGregor, trying to keep this as positive as I can. But the Pittsburgh Penguins are in desperate need. Yes, you heard me. Desperate need. They are in desperate need of a win come Saturday in Philadelphia. They are in desperate need of a win because if they don't win on Saturday, that's it for Stanley Cup playoff hockey for Pittsburgh Penguins fans. And that's it for hockey for Penguins fans regardless for 2025-2026. and we certainly hope that is not the case. Just a quick overview before we get back to the game in general. The Pittsburgh Penguins had power play goals scored by Evgeny Malkin and Christopher Letang, Erik Karlsson and Evgeny Malkin with the power play goals for Pittsburgh. The power play goals for Philadelphia in this series and in Game 3, where we saw power play goals for the first time, are Noah Cates and Trevor Zegras. We also saw about a number of penalties, particularly at the 4-minute 33-second mark of the second period, as a huge scrum took place at Xfinity Mobile Arena around that timeline. Multiple players, including Brian Rust, Samuel Girard, Travis Konechny, who was called at 1 minute 39 seconds for unsportsmanlike conduct, also receiving a penalty at 4 minutes 33 seconds for roughing. We also had Erik Karlsson and Ryan Shea and Connor Dewar join Brian Rust and Samuel Girardi in the box, 2 minutes for roughing to all of those people. Grabbing a 2-minute minor for tripping at 2 minutes 22 seconds. Rust, Girard, Duward, Karlsson, Shea, all receiving for the Penguins 2 minutes for roughing. On the Philadelphia side, we had Travis Konechny, Cam York, Mitej Michkov, Travis Sanheim, and Christian Dvorak, all receiving 2 minutes for roughing. And Konechny at the 1 minute 39-second mark, receiving 2 minutes for unsportsmanlike conduct. The roughing penalties all occur at 4 minutes and 33 seconds. But the penalties weren't done there. The next penalty for the Penguins came at 14 minutes 20 seconds. 2 minutes to Evgeny Malkin for cross-checking. Also at that time, Mitej Michkov, 2 minutes for embellishment. A minute after the 4-minute 33-second mark, Nick Seeler of the Flyers went to the box, 2 minutes for cross-checking at 5 minutes and 34 seconds. Then in the third period, at the 11-minute 12-second mark of the third period, Anthony Mantha, 2 minutes for delay of game puck over the glass. That would end the Penguins penalty summary. But the summary for penalties in the third period, including one we did not quite get to in my notes, but it happened at the 20-minute mark. Porter Martone received a 2-minute minor for unsportsmanlike conduct at the 20-minute mark of the third period of play at the end of the game. Sean Couturier at 13 minutes 28 seconds receives 2 minutes for hooking. Mitej Michkov takes his second roughing penalty of the game at 8 minutes and 12 seconds. And at 5 minutes and 11 seconds, Tyson Forster, 2 minutes for tripping at the 5 minutes 11 second mark of the third period of play. All right, folks, let's quickly jump into our game totals, and we are going to have to take a break. When we do come back from that break, we will get to our 3 stars of the game. Gonna have to save the shake of the game unless we can get to it with time going in. We might have to save the shake of the game for Game 3 for early on before Game 4, game breakdown. But we will see if we can get it in. We will do our Stanley Cup playoff rundown in Game 3 following the 3 stars of the game, but we'll take a break following what we're going to get into now. Just before we go to that break, our totals by period. The Pittsburgh Penguins and the Philadelphia Flyers both had 10 shots on goal at the end of 20 minutes of play. Philadelphia outshot Pittsburgh 15-9 at the end of 40 minutes of play. 15-7, at the end of 40 minutes of play. So they had a 25-17 lead in the shots on goal after 40 minutes of play. After the final 20, Philadelphia and Pittsburgh went even despite the Penguins outshooting Philadelphia 12-7 at the end of regulation time, but the shots on goal at the end of Game 3 were 29-29 each at the end of Game 3. Other stats in the game were, in terms of face-offs, Philadelphia winning 32 out of 55 of the face-offs in this one, for a face-off percentage 58.2%, Pittsburgh winning 23 out of 55 face-offs for a face-off percentage about 42%, at 41.8% as we speak with you. Both power plays strike twice. The Penguins go 2 for 5 on the power play. Philadelphia 2 for 3 on the power play, for a power play percentage of 7%, just about 67% good for Philadelphia. After Game 3, Pittsburgh with 40% good from the power play. Again, they finished 2 for 5 on the power play. They went 1 for 3 on the PK. Philadelphia 3 for 5 on the PK. 12 block shots for the game for Pittsburgh. I should say it was actually 13 block shots apiece, but over on the Penguins post it says 14 block shots for the Penguins, 12 block shots for Philadelphia. But here on NHL we have 13 block shots for both sides, 15 giveaways for Philadelphia, 12 giveaways for Pittsburgh in this game, 7 takeaways for Philadelphia, 2 takeaways for Pittsburgh in this one. Finally, the Philadelphia Flyers will win it 5-2, despite an entertaining and scrumming second period of play. All right, folks, time for a break. When we come back, 3 stars of Game 3. What's going on around the NHL as far as the Stanley Cup playoffs are concerned, plus the play of the game, all of that as we continue on Game 3 of Penguins postseason postgame and Game 3 of the Keystone State rivalry series between the Pittsburgh Penguins and the Philadelphia Flyers. It continues momentarily. Stay with us. 3 stars, play of the game, and Wednesday's Stanley Cup playoff roundup. Coming up next.
Have you ever wanted a talk show that discusses news, politics, the show's favorite sports teams, as well as sports media and broadcasting? Check out The Ali Musa Show, where we discuss these topics in a single package. To learn more about the show, please visit thealimusashow.ca. While you're over there, subscribe to the newsletter so you never miss an update. Besides, it's free. Enter your email address and hit subscribe.
The Ali Musa Show is part of the Musa Slobodian Network, where good conversations happen. To learn more about the network, please visit themusaslobodiannetwork.ca. While you're there, subscribe so you never miss a network update. Enter your email and hit subscribe.
Take another look with Gerda Felix and Melanie Taddeo Malo, 2 powerful women of diverse backgrounds having genuine, unique, and uncomfortable conversations that everyone needs to have. Join Melanie and Gerda for conversations about what is missing from human connections.
Hi, Scott. It's Ali here. I just wanted to mention that I'm really enjoying the show, and I'm really enjoying what you're putting together. And I wanted to just say I'm enjoying being a part of it as well. So please keep up the phenomenal work, and make sure you guys keep this podcast going because it really suits you well.
All right, folks, it's back to the program here on Penguins postseason postgame, Game 3. A game the Penguins absolutely needed to have, but, well, let the game fall where it may with everything that went down. Penguins fall in Game 3, 5-2. They now need to win on Saturday to keep the playoff series alive and also force Game 5 in Pittsburgh, which I believe will, if I have this correct, quickly checking in here before we go any further. Quickly checking in here, let's see. I believe heading into Game 4, if the Penguins were able to get the dub on Game 4, I believe Game 5 will be going on Monday. Yep, that's correct. Because Game 6, if it were to get that far, would go Wednesday, and Game 7 in Pittsburgh, if it were to get that far, which I guess hopefully as Penguins fans going into Game 4 this Saturday, we're hoping that is the case because the Penguins, they just need to win one game. They need to take one in Philadelphia, and that's going to have to come on Saturday. We really hoped it happened last night, but it did not, based on everything that we have gone through. And honestly, it's the Keystone State rivalry series, so you take the good with the bad. Obviously, a lot of disagreeing happening post-game, but we're not going to touch on that right now because it's time to reveal as we get close to our play of the game. And of course, we're going to do the 3 stars now, but as we get closer to the play of the game, we also want to let you know that coming up in just a few minutes, we are going to take a look around the league and see how everyone else is doing in their Stanley Cup playoff action. So, leading things off with our 3 stars of the game, the last 2 audio recordings that we did, and what we've done all year, 3 stars of the game for the Penguins and Flyers radio, as well as the play of the game on the Penguins radio. And your 3rd star went to the Flyers defenseman, the aforementioned Rasmus Ristolainen, 1 goal in the game, 1 point, no assists. Trevor Zegras with a 2-point Wednesday night, as he had a goal and an assist. And your 1st star in Philadelphia might have been number 14 in your program, but at the end of the evening, he is number 1 in your heart. Your 1st star, joining Rasmus Ristolainen, and your 2nd star, Trevor Zegras, your 1st star of the game. All Flyers in the 1st game in Philadelphia, all Flyers in Game 2 on Monday in Pittsburgh. Saturday, we had Flyers and Penguins, but that's okay. I mean, the Penguins are getting better as the series goes along, but they really, really need to win this game on Saturday. They really, really need to win that game on Saturday. Otherwise, well, that's the season. I mean, I'm not going to dwell on it any more than I already have most of the night before we came on to record, because I try to be as positive as I can. But anyways, elsewhere around the league, as we go to our roundup of the Stanley Cup playoffs, there were only 2 other games on the day we were playing. One of them went into overtime. That went actually into 2 overtimes, which was the Dallas Stars and the Minnesota Wild. The Wild losing that game in Minnesota 4-3 in Game 3, so they are now trailing the Dallas Stars in a game. They will see this game go back to Dallas for Game 5 as the Dallas Stars defeat the Minnesota Wild in Minnesota 4-3 in double overtime. And the other game, only 1 game played so far. Edmonton leading that series 1-0. Well, Game 2 went down last night, and it was the Ducks who picked up a 6-4 win over the Edmonton Oilers. That series now shifts to Anaheim, tied at 1 game apiece. And folks, with that said, that will bring us to our play of the game. Guests on the program? Well, if we had a guest on the program, they would have the honor of doing the 3 stars of the game. And of course, they would have the honor of doing the play of the game. You can get in on all the action through our Discord server, WhatsApp, group chat, and of course, however your favorite podcatcher works, and of course, by email at sportsforbeginners podcast8231@gmail.com. If we don't have a guest, the honor goes by the host, Scott McGregor. So, play of the game for me, I honestly think it's going to have to go to the aforementioned. I'm going to give the Penguins a break here, and I'm going to give The power play goal from Erik Karlsson, good enough for my play of the game. But I feel like after everything that happened in the 4-minute, 33-second mark of that second period, that really took the winds out of the Penguins' sails, leading to the 3 goals in 6 minutes by the Philadelphia Flyers. But I feel like it's just going to be great to give my play of the game to Erik Karlsson for the power play goal he scored, which would give the Penguins a chance to be right back in the heart of the action, down by a goal. Then again, it eventually turned into a 3 goals, I should say, scored. 2 goals. I had that right. 2 goals were scored in that third period by Philadelphia to give them the 5-2 win. But I feel like the goal by Erik was good enough for my play of the game because at least the Penguins didn't lose 5-1. I mean, let's be real. They have to win this game on Saturday because if they don't do that, then it's a clean sweep for Philadelphia. And honestly, I don't want that happening. And I know a lot of Penguins fans out there don't want that happening either. Apologize for my repeating there, but just want to make sure I'm being clear. Folks, we are going to step aside. Coming up in our next segment, our final segment of the show, we are going to talk shake of the game. I'll give you my final thoughts on Game 3, get you set up for a Bucko update. And of course, it's time to preview Game 4 of Penguins versus Flyers, a game the Penguins absolutely need to win. That comes your way next.
Cianity Radio will never give you up. They will never let you down, nor will they run around or desert you. So join Nick Astley for The Melting Pot every Saturday on Cianity Radio. Hang on a minute. He's not Nick Astley. Oh, jings, I've done it wrong. Anyway, just join Nick for The Melting Pot on Cianity Radio.
Hey, Allie, did you know we have a books panel?
I did not know that. When is it?
It takes place on the last Friday of each month at 7:30 p.m. Eastern.
Where we have fun and engaging conversations.
About a book that one of the panelists picks.
So, how can I learn more about the show?
To learn more, please visit bookspanel.ca. While you're there, subscribe to the newsletter so you never miss an update. Besides, it's free. Enter your email and hit subscribe.
The Books Pen is part of the Musa Slobodian Network, where good conversations happen.
To learn more about the network, please visit themusaslobodiannetwork.ca. While you're over there, hit subscribe so you never miss a network update. Enter your email and hit subscribe.
Take another look with Gerda Felix and Melanie Taddeo Malo, two powerful women of diverse backgrounds having genuine, unique, and uncomfortable conversations that everyone needs to have. Join Melanie and Gerda for conversations about what is missing from human connections.
All right, folks, back here on Penguins postseason postgame, Game 3 of the Keystone State Rivalry Series. Battle of PA between the Pittsburgh Penguins and the Philadelphia Flyers. Penguins in serious trouble as we get closer to Game 4 on Saturday. I am your host, Scott McGregor, rounding out the program in just a little bit. We are about time to get to our shake of the game, but first, I'm going to give you some final thoughts on Game 3 before we get to previewing Game 4, which will follow our shake of the game for Game 3 for both Philadelphia and Pittsburgh. Oh, and one other thing I forgot to mention at the top of the show, it was Dan Vladard versus Stuart Skinner as far as the goaltending matchup is concerned. So we had Chapter 3 of Dan Vladard versus Stuart Skinner in goal, and we probably will have Chapter 4 on Saturday between Pittsburgh and Philadelphia in Philadelphia. game number 4. We shall see where things go from there. All right, final thoughts. Let's see. Pretty good game by the Penguins so far. I like the power play. The fact that we scored twice in 5 opportunities after being 0 for 7 to start the series and 0 for 5 after game 2. Also liked what I saw from the Philadelphia Flyer power play. The penalty kill, though, still reigning supreme in my opinion. And also gotta tell you that I've really been liking what I've been seeing from Stuart Skinner, but I still feel that the Penguins, whether or not Dan Vladard plays on Saturday, I still feel like both goaltenders have been controlling the pace of game, no matter who is winning it, whether it's Philadelphia or Pittsburgh, which we hope Penguins win on Saturday, Penguins fans. We do hope that. We do hope that. We do. And I hope so as well. But it is what it is. So overall, I thought this was a pretty nice game by Philadelphia. It was nice to get a win on home ice for them, but I really, really, really thought the Penguins should have had a game plan there and been able to adjust on the fly. Do I agree with the embellishment calls? That's a topic for another time. But I will say this, some of those embellishment calls were right on, and other calls that were made might be a little bit questionable. But again, the story of the whole series, in my opinion right now, has been the penalties. And there have been quite a number of penalties, especially at a time limit like in the second period, like 4 minutes and 33 seconds. If there's not a lot of penalties that occur at that particular time, then we probably have a different story in game 3 than we have in games 1 and 2. But we'll see what game 4 has in store. And with that said, the shake of the game recipient for game number 3 for Philadelphia, well, that's going to go to the aforementioned puck stopper of the Philadelphia Flyers, Dan Vladard. Another great game for Dan Vladard. And I feel like he's having a pretty good series. Will he play in game 4? Probably not. I don't know. We shall see. If this is nothing too serious, as he was hurt heading into the end of the game. And also, I'm going to end off the shake of the game by saying that game 3, once again, it's going to go to Stuart Skinner. A great game by Skinner. Love what I saw from him. And with that, folks, the goaltenders will get the shake of the game for Philadelphia and Pittsburgh in game 3. Keep up to date with all of our shake of the game action, all playoff long, by checking out the previously recorded programs, which will have links in the description of our episode for game 3. All of these are available on Sports for Beginners and On the Ice and Behind the Benches, all playoff long, even into the off season if it goes that way. But hopefully the Penguins are able to force game 5 with a win in Philadelphia in hostile territory on Saturday evening. Start time 8 p.m. Eastern. And as we wrap it up, I remind you to stay tuned after the program for a Bucko update, courtesy of our host of On the Ice and Behind the Benches, Thomas McGregor, giving you the latest around Bucko land. And with that said, to honor the great Mike Lang, first with my spinoff and then with his iconic line, as we close out Game 3, Penguins postseason postgame, Game 3 of the Battle of PA, as the Penguins look for a win on Saturday in must-win territory against Philadelphia. Ladies and gentlemen, Justin Brazeau has just left the building. And now, to honor Mike Lang, ladies and gentlemen, Elvis has just left the building. That will do it for us here on Penguins postseason postgame. Thank you so much for being with us. A Bucko update is coming up next, as we do so at the end of every Penguins postseason postgame. How are the Buccos doing? We will see what Thomas can provide. But that will do it for us. I will catch up with you real soon, Penguins fans. Hopefully, it's not the last game of the playoffs. And hopefully, it's not a clean sweep of Philadelphia over Pittsburgh. We will see you after Game 4 of the Battle of PA. and give you the answer whether it is a clean sweep and time for the offseason for the Penguins, or we're going to Game 5 in Pittsburgh. We'll talk about that Saturday or Monday ahead of the game. But no matter what, we'll be back with you after Game 4 on Saturday. 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central is the start time. Penguins fall 5-2 in Game 3. Now they need a win in Philadelphia to force a game back in Pittsburgh and get a win within this series. They trail 3-0 in the season series, and if they lose on Saturday, that's it for the hockey year. So hopefully that doesn't happen. But until then, we say, Penguins fans, loud and proud, cheering for the black and gold, let's go Pens. Talk to you after Game 4.
Thank you so much for listening to Sports for Beginners. If you would like to learn more about the show, you can visit the podcast Facebook page or visit the official website. You can also send us an email at sportsforbeginnerspodcast8231@gmail.com. As we always remind you, it is not goodbye, it is until next time.